4th and goal to go to 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
Look, he's back on IR. Wow, good old buddy, Mr. Darren Waller. Huh? You know, the Giants traded him to the Dolphins. They gave him, the Dolphins got him and a 7th round pick. And in return, the Giants got a 6th round pick. Now, the one nice thing about that, okay, is that the Dolphins really look bad. So that 6th round pick is going to be a really early 6th round pick. I'm not saying it's a 1st round pick and we're going to be drafting a Hall of Famer or anything like that. I'm certainly not saying that, you know. But, you know, as I said, the one nice thing is that you make a trade with a bad team, right? And you pick up even a 6th round pick or a 5th round pick or something like that. You know, it's like, you know, it's not going to be a late 5th round or a late, you know, I mean, because like a late 6th round pick is almost a 7th round pick, you know. But it's been really early 6th round pick that the Giants picked up for Darren Waller. And now he's back on the practice squad. He's back on injured reserve. Not because of a hamstring. He's got a different issue. I'll read this in a second. But, I mean, you know, he hasn't had he's caught 4 touchdown passes. He's only caught 10 balls all season. He's only played in 4 games. Right, you know, he missed the first couple of games. Then he started playing, and actually, I think he caught 4 touchdown passes in 3 weeks. But I mean, you can't complain about catching touchdown passes. But he's only caught 10 balls all season long, and now he's on injured reserve. So he's got to go out and be on there for at least 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, at the minimum, week 12. So, you know, this one looks like this might be a winner for the Giants. You know, we got rid of Waller. He didn't go and help the Dolphins make it to the Super Bowl. Right? They didn't win the division. They didn't have a winning record. They stink. With or without him, they stink. They're just straight trash. So it's not like, you know, we come a laughing stock because we traded Darren Waller away. Right? No, looks like we benefited from this. We don't want Waller. He didn't want to be here, and he's nothing but, once again, all he does is get injured, right? I think we traded away a 7th round pick, and in return we got a very early 6th round pick for him. So, okay, cool. You got him, Dolphins. He's all yours. Dolphins placed tight end Darren Waller on the injury reserve with the pectoral injury. Dolphins tight end Darren Waller was placed on injury reserve Wednesday after suffering a pectoral injury in last week's loss to the Browns. Waller was injured in the first half of Sunday's game and did not return. It was his 4th game of the season. So basically, he hasn't even played 3.5 full games. We're 7 games into the season, right? So at 8, 9, 10, 11. So after 11 weeks, he's only going to play a grand total of 3.5 games at the most. After 11 weeks, he'll have at the most 10 receptions after 11 weeks. So Giants did themselves well in this trade. It was his 4th game of the season after missing the team's first 3 games. So he missed the team with a hip injury, and he picked up in training camp. So in training camp, picked up a hip injury, missed the first 3 games. Now he's going to miss another 4 games, at least another 4 games. It was soft tissue, Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel said Monday. It's a situation that probably would be living in hope to see him in the upcoming next week's game, but he'll be diligent. This means a lot to him. But that's kind of where I'm at with it right now with the information I have. Waller made a splash in his season debut in week 4 with 3 catches for 27 yards. Ooh, and 2 touchdowns. Ooh, 27 yards, big splash. Ooh. He followed up with the next week with 78 yards and a touchdown and 5 catches against the Panthers, all in the first half. He's recorded just 2 catches for 12 yards and a touchdown in 2 games since. Ooh. 2 catches for 12 yards in 2 games. Ooh, very impressive. Ooh. As the Dolphins' passing offense has sputtered during their 3-game losing streak, Waller will be eligible to return against the Saints in Week 12. Miami has a bye in Week 11. In a corresponding move, the Dolphins signed tight end Greg Dulcich, maybe you remember him, right, from their practice squad to their active roster. The Dolphins traded for Waller in July, and he came out of a year-long retirement to reunite with current offensive coordinator Frank Smith, who was Waller's position coach during his best seasons with the Raiders. Waller worked to the side for the first few weeks of training camp as he built himself back into football shape, but suffered a setback when he injured his hip in August. Let's see what anybody else there. Oh, there we go. Waller will miss at least the next 4 games for the Dolphins, who are 1-6. Also in the practice squad, Miami signed Greg Dulcich to their active roster of their practice squad. So basically, a couple of the tight ends that the Dolphins have, okay, came from the Giants, right, between Waller and Dulcich. Waller's 33, sustained his injury during Sunday's 31-6 loss at Cleveland and did not catch a pass, ending a streak of 3 games with at least 1 touchdown. After coming out of retirement, Waller caught 10 passes this season for 117 yards and 4 touchdowns in his first 3 games. Pro Bowl selection for the Raiders, Waller has 360 catches for 4,241 yards and 24 scores in 90 games with the Ravens, the Raiders, and the Giants, and the Dolphins. He did not play during the 2024 season. Dulcich, though, had 5 catches for 28 yards in 9 games last season, split between the Broncos and the Giants. The UCLA product has 41 receptions for 464 yards and 2 touchdowns in 21 career games with the Broncos and the Giants. So, yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. The only thing, that, to be fair with Waller, he did not ask to get traded to the Giants. He got traded here. Now, whether he wanted to come from one crappy team, meaning the Raiders, to another crappy team, meaning the Giants, I highly doubt it, right? But apparently, while he was here, he seemed to do all the right things, say all the right things and all that and everything. It was just a shame he wound up getting injured. But the thing that just bothered me a little bit was, how he seemed rather offended that the Giants made him do some blocking. Yeah. Not much of a team player there. Like they weren't using him right. Like he was in the backfield. And I guess he was used maybe as a lead blocker or a blocker. He was in the backfield. And I guess that kind of rubbed him the wrong way. So, but to me, it's a team sport. If you're a team player, you do what the team asks. You do it to your best of ability. If you don't like it, oh, well, it is what it is. I mean, sure, there's a lot of other players out there who play football who get asked to do things that they don't want to do, and they do them, and they don't run off to the sideline and piss their pants and change their diaper and complain and moan and groan about it, right? It is what it is. You're there to help the team out, help the team win. And, I guess Waller got really offended because the Giants asked him to block. So not much of a team player there, right? But, the Giants, traded away a 3rd-round pick for this guy. Only played 12 games or 11 games, whatever it was, spent a lot of time once again injured with his hamstring, right? Retired. And he came out of retirement, went to the Dolphins. So the Giants, right? I think the Giants made out without question. I don't care what Waller does with the Dolphins. They stink. He missed 3 games already. He's going to miss at least another 4 games. So the Giants made out well. They got themselves because the Dolphins stink. They're going to get themselves a very early 6th-round pick in next year's draft, thanks to Darren Waller and the Miami Dolphins. So there you go.